So here's another short story reminding us why you don't marry the single MOMs, why you want to pick a gal that doesn't have any kids, any baggage, things like that. In this situation here, a father and husband who had kids from his previous marriage before his wife passed away got together with her own kids, teenagers, and she thought because now that they're married, and this guy obviously is like other guys out there, that she could basically dictate that she was going to pick up and move to a different state because of a situation with the kids and their dad and all that, and expected this guy just to go along, to uproot his kids and do that. Well, no, this guy ain't having it and said, this is not going to work. It's over here. It's over with. And I'll be going to make the point, guys, that even though usually these stories where the single mom uses the guys for his resources or to be a babysitter or the kids are a bunch of jerks, in some situations they actually have a decent thing going, or so it seems, but still she could try to run the show, if you will, and make her kids come first and expect you to go along, and it's just a mess. This is why if you're a dad and you have kids, you're divorced or a widow, widower, you need to at least wait for those kids to be out of the house and grow up before you can move on to those relationships. Otherwise, it could be a problem, and your kids got to come first, and it's just it's a mess. So just either stay single or get involved with women that don't have kids. Titled, Am I the a-hole willing to end my marriage because I refuse to uproot my kids from their life to follow my stepkids? And a shout out to Gregory for sending this story. He says, My wife and I have been together for 4 years, married for almost 2. We both have children. My daughter is 11 and my son is 9. We lost their mom when they were younger. My wife has been divorced for many years and shared custody of her 15 and 16-year-olds with her ex until a few months ago when he was granted permission to move to another state with their kids because their kids wanted to go with their dad. Okay. She has a 15 and 16-year-old, just a few years from graduating high school being legal adults. This guy has, I wouldn't say little kids, but young kids, 11 and 9. So their situation is a little different. My wife doesn't want to be away from her kids for long periods of time, and she has told me she's moving. Right there. Right there. They didn't have a conversation about it, just flat out, I'm moving. So in other words, you're coming along with me. No, it doesn't work out that way. She feels, it's always about the feelings, not thinks, feels, like she needs to be near her kids. I do support this, but I won't move my kids away from family, friends, and stability to do this. My kids don't want to move either. They heard my wife mention it several weeks ago, and they told me they don't want to leave. They miss everyone too much. There you go. They're 9 and 11 years old. They lost their mother when they were little kids. That screws people up. And now, like this dude's wife, he's only with her for 2 years, married her 2 years, expects him to uproot those kids from an environment where they have stability, they have other family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, their friends. No, I don't think so. I already know the life of my kids that I have are here and what they need, and this is where they thrive. I explained this to my wife, and she was defeated. She told me we can't make a marriage work if I'm here and she's there. And I said I agree, and I told her I believe the best thing is to move forward with a divorce. Maybe, just maybe, you all should have thought of this before you got married. Now, obviously, her ex-husband moved to a different state, and the kids want to go there, and all this, blah, blah, blah. But this is why he has kids, and obviously, for her kids come first. For him, his kids come first. This is just not a good situation. The difference is, her kids are older. They're close to being legal adults here, just a couple years away. But his kids are little, and after what they went through, they can't be uprooted like that. I mean, it's not impossible, but still. She told me we can't make a marriage work if I'm here and she's there, and I said I agree. I told her I'd be the best we divorce. She was upset by this, of course, and we talked and I comforted her, and she asked me if there was anything she could say or do to make me reconsider. No, I'm not going to uproot my kids, honey. I told her I won't move my kids, and I would never ask her to be apart from her kids for months on end. I said we're both committed to the best interest of our individual children, and that means doing what's right for them, even if it's not right for us as a couple. Amen. But my biggest problem with this whole thing is how she just automatically made the decision that she's doing this, not even talking to him. She asked for us to talk some more, and we have. We've talked about it extensively, but all the while she's been making arrangements for a place where her ex and kids now live, and a new job. I think she believed I would change my mind the more we discussed everything, but I have not, and now she's angry that I would rather our marriage end than move so we can all be together as a family. But I know this is not what's best for my kids. Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole. You should have married her. You should have waited, in a situation like that. Now, he didn't see it coming, but your kids come first. You've obviously been on your own for a while. You can do it longer. But notice how she's angry. Now, obviously, women are going to let their emotions take over than, thinking things rationally. But remember, she's angry that he's choosing his kids, but she's doing the same damn thing. Obviously, she can be a part. It will be easy. It won't be as difficult for her children, her teenagers, for her to be not with them all the time than it would be for this guy with his young children. He's got to be around them at 9, 11 years old. Come on here. But her kids, 15, 16, almost legal young adults, they'd be all right if, but nope. She wants him to move. No questions asked. It's her way or the highway. So he's not moving. So guys, remember, you don't want to mess things up with your kids. Stay single. And if you're going to have somebody, okay, make sure she doesn't have any children, any baggage, anything like that. He did the right thing, and I agree. And he claims in the comment section they've had a pretty good thing going. So he seems. But then again, by her automatically just kind of making the plan, just saying, well, I'm moving, without consulting him, that tells me there's a little bit more going on than he may realize here. Now, in the comment section, he responds to a lot of comments. And it's interesting because you got some people totally supporting him like I do. And you got other people kind of making him out to be the bad guy here. Can you believe that? Well, I know you can believe that. One guy says here, not the a-hole. You're putting your kids first, as you should. Why is she getting angry at you? While she did the right thing by putting her kids first, she's the one that broke the family dynamic. She's the one who already put the wheels in motion to move. She just thought you'd follow after her and is angry because you didn't bow to her demands. That's not thinking as a family. Exactly. Thank you. And he responds, I think she's angry that I'm sticking to what we both always said when we started a relationship. Just like she's putting her kids first. I'm doing the same thing, and I think the reality of that is frustrating her when in theory, I have more flexibility than she does. But what matters most to me is would be good for what is good for my kids. And the answer is no. This move would not be good for them. Amen. And this next one, this is from a woman. She says, and obviously doesn't like this, she says, this is some heartbreaking crap. So like what? You're only allowed to love and prioritize your spouse if they are also the parent of your child. She says, I drag my kids around the country for my husband's job, and nobody has ever said I'm a bad parent for it. I have gotten advice on how to ease my kids into a move, and they are angry about it, and nobody ever accused me of choosing my husband over my kids. I don't think there's an absolute right or wrong here. I'm just generally confused why this man is giving up on his spouse is being praised so strongly. So, of course, the woman's mad about it. Well, lady, here's the difference. She's describing her situation with moving because of her husband's job and her kids. Well, guess what? That husband is those kids' dad. That's the difference here. This dude telling the story here, his wife is not the mother of their children, okay? And they would then be, and also this lady doesn't understand that her kids didn't lose a parent because both the parents are there. So that's the difference here. And he responds, my kids have already lost their mom. All their extended family and friends are here. They have grown up here. They have the extra support in place here. They would not have that if we had moved. They'd be away from that, and that would only be able to see them sometimes. This is especially important because they are very close to their mom's family. Yes, they lost their mother. That messes kids up. So taking them away from this could really mess them up. And one more, this guy says, why can't you have a long-distance marriage? You wouldn't be the first. Yeah, because long-distance relationships work out so well. And, let's just say this guy did this. Then she'd be moving over there where her ex is. And when she's feeling lonely and frustrated and blaming him, she'd probably end up hooking up with the ex. And this dude responds, I don't see her making it more than a month before she resents me fiercely for not moving. Ding, ding, ding. That's what I truly believe would end our marriage anyway. It also would be longer if their plans became a reality because they want to attend college there, and that's a viable option that would allow them to stay home with parents, which would add more years for the long distance anyway. And one more, this one guy says here, well, technically you're not the a-hole. I come from a military family where kids are uprooted all the time. It's what you got to do. If you love your wife, then you make sacrifices even to the extent of all else. Your kids are still young and can make new friends. It's concerning to me that you didn't consider her side at least, not that you shared. Should she move just to be near her kids? Perhaps not, but the fact that you immediately leap for divorce reveals a lot, just my opinion. These fucking people on Reddit. Again, this guy says this happens in the military, and yes, it does. I know people that were in the military with their kids. But again, that was a solid family. These kids lost their mom. This is apples and oranges these guys are talking about here. And guess what? He obviously is seeing by her dictating that she's moving, expecting to move on, him to go with her. It's not going to work. And this guy again says, I never said she shouldn't move. I have supported her in that. But just like she's putting her kids first, I'm doing the same. Even if I was single, I would be ensuring that I keep the kids near their family, especially their mom's family. That for me is a priority above all else. I just think a lot of people in this comment section, either the women or the guys that have a problem with this guy doing this, are just so used to the man just having to blindly follow the woman anywhere. And if he has wants to do something he wants to do, well, he's automatically the villain here. But the interesting thing is he's doing nothing less or nothing more than what she's doing. She's putting her kids first, or more like, but let's be honest here, she's doing what she wants. Her teenage kids are near adulthood, do not need her as much to be around as much as his kids, 9, 11 years old, need him. They need the stability. They lost a parent, okay? Those kids, the stepkids, they have a father. He's alive. So, but anyhow, guys, there you go. Another dynamic to the whole getting involved with and marrying a single mom. Better not do that. You just don't need the headaches. End of story.